ran the place. It was confusing to me because she was also the most open, the quickest to admit she didn't know what to do. I'd never seen someone show that much of her soft belly and receive that much respect. I wanted to connect with her, but I couldn't figure out my angle of approach. Were we equals about to bond? Was she the alpha and I the beta? Vice versa? Was I smarter than her? Was she smarter than me? I'd often thought of making friends akin to the process of landing a plane. Assess the runway, consider the angle and speed of approach, then go. Hope it isn't too bumpy. Brake, but not too quickly. But with Allison, all those calculations just didn't work. The first time we finally spoke to each other, her barreling through my performance of quiet listening, a cover-up for the frenzy of social math going on in my head, was on one of these lunches in September when I was still new to everything. This meeting, graduate school, the city, the state. The usual stuff, resentments, fears, the daily attempts not to drink in the face of life circumstances that had us virtually destroyed, had come up during the meeting itself. Lunch was where we went to bond, to recap, to recast our stories in a kinder and softer light. What was spoken of in the meeting in terms of darkness and pain and fear was laughed about over our lunches afterward, and no one laughed more compassionately than Allison. "What classes are you taking?" she asked me. She told me she was auditing an English department lecture, Shakespeare. Architectural history, art history, another one about cities, I said. I was trying to edit for her, stay away from academic terms that might be, I thought, beyond the scope of her interest. Or understanding. "And how's it going?" I dissembled. I told her that it was fine, of course. I was having a hard time with the reading sometimes, but it was good, really good. I was learning and being challenged, and this was nothing like New York, but I could do it. The truth is that I was drowning. That I was starting to believe that I wasn't good enough to do this. That I was smart, but not smart enough for this. "Have you made good friends in your program?" A pause. I didn't feel like I'd come to grad school to make friends. My cohorts were my competition, or they were people I could maybe sleep with, or people who could help me get ahead. But I didn't think friendship was going to be a central part of my grad school experience. Accomplishment was. "Are you finding the other students helpful?" Wait, what? My colleagues and I sort of helped each other, but most of us were also in battle for coveted slots in the PhD program, to which we hadn't yet been admitted, and for which we would have the chance to formally apply at the end of our first year, with the implicit understanding that the interview had begun the day we arrived on campus. I was floating around in master's student purgatory, focusing on that degree, but also every day waiting and wondering if this could be the day I would make a good enough impression to be eventually let in, led up the next rung of the academic ladder, recommended to continue. It's no wonder I was so insecure. Every time I spoke in seminar, I wondered if this would be a strike for or against me, if what I'd said would be a notch in my favor, or a reason to let me go. I felt like there was something wrong with me for feeling so tied to the inscrutable opinions of my professors, and I felt ashamed at how deeply seated my anxieties about performance seemed to be, the ways in which I went over and over sentences after I'd said them, convinced I'd made some intractably inane observation about train lines or Marx, or the mid-century American brutalist architect Paul Rudolph, sure that this time I had confirmed that I would be encouraged to pursue an alternative career, as academic rejection tended to be framed. Allison must have sensed all of this in the way that I answered her, because she started talking about herself, a trick I later saw her do with everyone she spoke to, a way of relating to the basic feelings, no matter the details. "Insecurity is a tough one," she said, "and it's hard to live the way we do." I asked her what she meant, politely trying to engage her. "What we do here, admitting that we're broken," she clarified. But I wasn't broken. I was fixable. "Well, I'm broken,"